Have you ever found yourself drawn to someone who seems emotionally distant or just out of reach? It's a common experience that many people share. We often find ourselves attracted to partners who seem just beyond our reach emotionally. Understanding this pattern involves several key psychological concepts. These include emotional unavailability, attachment styles, unrequited love, and fear of intimacy. There are several psychological reasons why we're drawn to unavailable partners. These include the thrill of the challenge, the scarcity principle, where we value what's harder to get, self protection from vulnerability, patterns from our upbringing, dopamine rewards from the chase, and paradoxically, fear of true intimacy. This pattern of attraction can significantly impact your mental health and relationships. It often leads to emotional distress, lowered self esteem, anxiety, relationship dysfunction, and reinforcing unhealthy patterns. Throughout this video, we'll explore why we experience this attraction, how it develops, and what we can do to break the cycle. By understanding these patterns, we can make more conscious relationship choices and develop healthier connections. Defining emotional unavailability. What exactly does emotionally unavailable mean? It's a pattern of behavior where someone struggles to form deep emotional connections with others. This can manifest in several ways. First, difficulty with commitment, where they struggle to commit to long-term relationships. Second, they often avoid vulnerable conversations, changing the subject or deflecting when emotions are discussed. Third, they may display a lack of empathy, struggling to understand or validate others' feelings. Lastly, they create walls that prevent intimacy, using various defense mechanisms to maintain emotional distance. Emotionally unavailable people build walls between themselves and others. These barriers are formed from fear, past trauma, control issues, and difficulty with trust. Recognizing the signs of emotional unavailability is crucial. Watch for inconsistent communication, mixed signals, a focus on physical connection over emotional intimacy, reluctance to discuss the future, and keeping conversations superficial. Recognizing these traits is the first step in understanding the complex dynamic of emotional unavailability in relationships. The thrill of the chase is a powerful motivator in human attraction. One of the primary reasons we're drawn to unavailable people is the challenge they present. Humans are naturally attracted to obstacles. Breaking through the emotional barriers of an unavailable partner activates our brain's reward pathways, similar to how we respond to other achievements. The scarcity of an unavailable person's attention makes it all the more desirable. When something is hard to get, we tend to value it more highly. Interestingly, the pursuit itself often becomes more compelling than the actual relationship. We become focused on the goal of winning someone over. This can develop into an addictive cycle. Attraction leads to pursuit, which provides brief moments of reward when we receive attention, followed by withdrawal when attention is withheld. When we've been hurt in relationships before, we often develop defense mechanisms to protect ourselves from future pain. Let's examine some common defense mechanisms we use. These include denial, projection, rationalization, and others that help us avoid emotional vulnerability. Fear of intimacy is the fear of being emotionally close to others. It often stems from past hurts or trauma, leading us to hide our true selves behind emotional masks. This fear creates a cycle of avoidance. We experience anxiety about emotional connection, avoid it, feel temporary relief, but ultimately reinforce our feelings of inadequacy. Paradoxically, this is why some people are attracted to emotionally unavailable partners. These relationships provide a built-in safety buffer, a comfortable distance that feels safe. The irony is that the very habits we develop to protect ourselves from pain are the same ones that prevent us from experiencing the love we desire. When our self-protection becomes a barrier to connection, we may find ourselves attracted to unavailable partners as a way to control the depth of intimacy. We unconsciously avoid the vulnerability required for deep connection. Breaking this pattern requires acknowledging our fears and developing the courage to be vulnerable. Only then can we create space for genuine emotional connection. Our attraction to emotionally unavailable partners often has roots in our childhood experiences. The relationship dynamics we observed or experienced growing up become familiar patterns that we unconsciously seek to recreate in adulthood. The familiarity principle explains why we're often drawn to what feels known to us, even when it's unhealthy. If you experienced emotional unavailability or neglect as a child, these patterns might feel normal and comfortable despite causing pain. Our attachment styles formed during our early years strongly influence whom we're attracted to as adults. Many people find themselves repeating the same relationship patterns throughout their lives. They may continually choose partners who mirror parental behaviors or create similar emotional dynamics to their childhood. This repetition occurs because these patterns, though potentially harmful, feel like home to us. Our attraction to unavailable partners often represents an unconscious attempt at healing. The mind seeks completion and resolution of unfinished emotional business from childhood. By recreating similar scenarios, we hope for a different outcome, to finally receive the love and attention we didn't get as children. Understanding how childhood experiences shape our attraction to unavailable partners is a crucial step toward healthier relationships. By recognizing these patterns, we can begin to break the cycles that keep us seeking emotional unavailability. Awareness is the first step toward change. The dopamine rush and the letdown, why the initial attraction to unavailable partners often fades. The pursuit of an unavailable person triggers a powerful neurochemical response in our brains. During the chase phase, our brain releases dopamine, creating a natural high. This chemical is the same one released during other pleasurable activities like eating or exercise. As we pursue the unavailable partner, dopamine levels rise significantly. Each text, call, or brief moment of attention produces a surge of pleasure. However, if the unavailable person becomes attainable, something interesting happens to our brain chemistry. Once the person is attained, the dopamine rush diminishes rapidly. The brain no longer receives the same reward from the interaction. This neurochemical process explains why the initial attraction can fade so quickly. What was once exciting becomes predictable, and the thrill of the chase is replaced by the reality of a relationship. The consequences of consistently pursuing emotionally unavailable partners can significantly impact both mental health and relationship patterns. Pursuing emotionally unavailable partners can significantly impact mental health. This often manifests as increased anxiety with intrusive thoughts and physical symptoms. Over time, this pattern can erode self-esteem and lead to persistent insecurity, self-doubt, depression, and emotional exhaustion. These relationships often create a self-reinforcing cycle of low self-esteem. When we believe we're not worthy of love, we accept poor treatment, which further erodes our self-worth. Being attracted to unavailable partners often leads to unhealthy relationship patterns. These relationships may involve power imbalances and control dynamics. A key issue in these relationships is poor boundary setting. When we're attracted to unavailable partners, we often compromise our needs and values. This can manifest as difficulty saying no, accepting unacceptable behavior, and consistently overextending yourself emotionally while receiving little in return. The consequences of pursuing emotionally unavailable partners extract a high cost. Mentally, they can lead to anxiety, depression, and a diminished sense of self-worth. In relationships, they create unhealthy patterns, boundary issues, and reinforce negative beliefs about ourselves and what we deserve in love.